Dave made this beat.
Welcome to Say Like a Champ, episode 288. It's your boy A-Dub.
And your boy Striz. Welcome back, Slack family. What's good, y'all?
What's poppin'? We out here repping the Crips and the Bloods today, you know what I'm saying? We got the red and the blue going on. That's what's up. But yes, welcome back. Another week in sports. Glad to be back with our Slack family, just being silly there a little bit. But we already got some people tuning in. We got Unk, we got Pops. We got Stephanie Washington, and we got Kelly. Welcome in, y'all. Definitely glad to have you guys back with us for another great week in sports. And, you know, it's the off season. It's kind of the tough spot right now with football being over with and with basketball not being quite ramped up. But we do got some things for you. We'll knock out really quickly. And as always, if you guys have topics you want to talk about, feel free to bring them up to make sure we're not missing anything. And as we also welcome in our boy Ant, Strizzy, we'll just do our normal check-in, man. What's good with you? What's new?
Nothing much, man. You know what I'm saying? Still just kind of grinding as always, you know what I mean? Trying to get ahead as much as we all, you know, as we possibly can, you know what I mean, as content creator world. And you know, I got some cons coming up. I was gonna actually hit you up too if you're interested. I know that, you know, you're in the toy game, you know what I'm saying, things of that nature, in the pop game, but a ton of just like anime voice actors and their pops and signings and all that kind of fun stuff is on the 22nd, well, the 21st to the 23rd of this month. And we'll be popping out on the 22nd there. Definitely want to get some content in. I think I want to do some kind of, I think I want to make a video of like doing like some interviews and might do some money giveaways. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? You can guess this, guess this anime song, win $10 type deal. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Just some content, you know what I'm saying? Make it fun, you know what I mean? And, you know what I'm saying? They say you got to, you know, spend money to make money, apparently. So we'll see how that shit goes. But, you know, just constantly thinking of different ways and different things to doing. And, you know what I'm saying? And someone told me, if you're not writing your goals down, how do you expect to achieve them? So I started writing my goals down so I can actually see them every day. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
So just, you know, just try to change my mindset and mentality to, you know, we talk about getting this money all the time and really trying to make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, just, you know, continuing to love what we do. You know what I mean? How about you?
That's awesome. Yeah, same. You know, things are going well. Time is going fast. But definitely trying to get back on the content side as well. I've got some different things coming along that I want to just put out there and just start recording, basically like kind of random things, but also working with you as well, because I know that comic book sale is coming up too. I kind of want to go check that out too. So yeah, definitely excited to do some things on that end. And yeah, I will definitely we'll talk offline about the cons, and maybe I can be your cameraman or something like that. So that would be super dope. Want to welcome in Grace to the show. Hello. Thank you for checking in with us. Ant says he's at his son's Taekwondo class checking in. That's what's up, learning those new moves. And he said more likely to achieve goals written down. Yes, most definitely. So I like that. I'm going to have to make sure I have mine written down, or I find myself a paper that I wrote a few years back. So one of the two. But we going to make it happen. That's what's up. Exactly. All right. Before we get into this, we got to welcome in one more member of the panel so we can round this thing out, have it be a full family affair. We got our brother, Matt Marcus. What's good?
What up, fam?
Oh, man. Just another lovely day. How are you feeling?
Doing good, man. I left my other camera, so I have to use my computer mic, me and camera on here, so we good.
Coming in clear. That's what's up. Stephanie said Taco Bell is coming out with the new menu this year. We need you to report back, A-Dub. That's what's up. Okay. Taco Bell is always coming out with some different stuff. They're always on it.
Got a new menu coming out.
But that's what I wanted. That's one of the things I want to try to do is Flavor Fridays, like, because I got a bunch of different flavors and different candies and treats coming out. I'm always trying the new stuff. I'm like, I might as well put it out there. So that'll be
what's up, man?
Yeah, that'll be coming soon. All right, so let's just go ahead and jump into it. Not too much crazy stuff. We're going to talk NFL. One of the things I wanted to talk about before we talk about the kind of some of the signings and some of the different things that have gone on so far is I definitely wanted to say a big shout out to Jimmy Johnson on his career. He did retire officially, so he's going to be off of Fox Sports. But he was with them for 31 years and coaching, obviously legendary coach before that. It doesn't seem like it's been that long.
Is that possible?
Yeah.
I'm saying, but when he won the Super Bowl last in 94 or 93, he won the Super Bowl.
93, because it was the 92, 93 seasons, and then he was out of there. So I think that's.
But then he went and coached the Dolphins and stuff like that, though, right?
Right. So I guess he started with them 31 years ago, but I think there was a break in there for a couple of years when he went back to coaching.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I didn't know he was like stopped coaching that long. Okay.
Yeah, but I think it was starting from the 94 season, because that's when he got him and Jerry, had their famous breakup. Yeah. And I definitely think the Cowboys would have won 3 Super Bowls in a row if they would have kept it together. I think Jerry thought anybody could coach the team, but not quite anybody. But they still got 3 out of 4 years. But definitely, I think that's definitely a big impact there. But yeah, legendary career and just a super dope guy too. So wishing him well for sure. I think he won at every level except for being a player, but he won at the college level. He won, obviously on the pros. So legendary career there. Now he'll just be fishing on his boat, stuff like that. Anthony Weston, he did mention one thing we were going to bring up. Davante Adams released. So the Jets are officially done with their, team up, their Green Bay reunion. Aaron Rodgers being released. Now Davante Adams. And also Lazard apparently is going to be either traded or released as well. So everything that they did basically 2 years ago to go all in on Aaron Rodgers is being undone. But I do think I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that, and also where you think good landing spot for Adams would be, because I think he still is really productive. I think he's still a really good receiver. What do you guys think of his future?
So the way the Chiefs play, I think he's gonna go to the Chiefs. That's why he might go over there.
They could definitely use a receiver like that for sure.
I actually agree. I think that's probably in order for him to be like not only productive but competitive for a championship. I think that's definitely it. I think they struggled a lot with the receivers. They went through a lot of receivers this year when you really stop and think about it, and not even having Rashee Rice either. You know what I mean? So you get Rashee Rice back. You got Xavier Worthy, who I think can play in the slot very well. Then you put Davante Adams on the other side, who's also great veteran receiver. I think your receiver core is pretty locked up at that point, and then you can use some of those other guys as guys who can come in and give those guys a breather. But
I think Hollywood, D-Hop, I think those guys, and Juju, I think those guys are gone.
Yeah, I think so too. You know what I'm saying? D-Hop, he showed flashes. Hollywood just dropped the ball too much for me. You know what I'm saying? I feel like as a receiver, you got to have sure hands. You know what I mean? To kind of be a number 1-2 guy. So I think
they might keep Juju though. They might keep Juju. He's smart.
Yeah, no, I think he would be a perfect guy to kind of come and, like I said, relieve some of those dudes, give him a player or two off. You know what I mean? And he's always been a solid 2 guy. So I think keep the youngsters. It's cheap. You know what I mean? Between Rice and Worthy, and then bring in Davante Adams. He's 30 years old now, getting close to or something like that. So you don't have to sign up for a major contract. You know what I mean? Then obviously you got Pat, sitting behind center. So it's probably the best place. But I just hope he, gets this notion out of his head that he can't play anywhere without Aaron Rodgers. Do not follow wherever that man goes. You stay far, far away. You know what I'm saying?
Stay far away from him and Carr. That's not gonna help you either.
Facts. Yeah, exactly. You're too good a receiver to have to be thinking I need familiarity. You know what I mean? It helps. It definitely helps, but Carr ain't it, and Rodgers is too old.
Yeah. Anthony Weston likes it. He says he thinks he will fit.
I think so too.
And he reminds us Rashee is going to get suspended. That's right. So he got hurt this year, but he still hasn't gotten suspended. If he will be in connection with that car accident.
How many games you think y'all 3 or 4 or more than that?
I don't know. Maybe since it's cooled off, it'll be 3 or 4. But at the time, I thought it was going to be 8.
I think he said. I think it was a. Didn't they give him initial already, and then they were probably gonna bring it back? I sworn it was like 6 or 8 or something like that. I don't know. I might
I
be
think that was
tripping.
kind of just what they were speculating as well.
Yes,
But
I'm saying 6. I was gonna say I'm saying 6.
I just feel like the fact that it's kind of cooled off, it's kind of some time has gone by,
True.
but I don't know. We'll see.
True.
That was a bad. I think it was definitely a bad luck though what he was doing. So
It's definitely like it's definitely really bad. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But you're
Well, not
right.
only a bad
The
luck.
whole
Like I don't
year.
mean it like that. Like it's dangerous. Like reckless. Like all that. Like
Yeah,
he
all
should.
twelve.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was messing up. Um, so yeah, we'll see. Other news. T. Higgins is being signed to the franchise tag. But we'll see. They still might trade him. But it looks like they're going to try to just keep him, maybe keep the trio together. I think it's overkill, but also, if they're able to draft well and get some help for their defense, maybe that's cool. But I still don't know if he actually stays with the Bengals or not.
What do you think, Marcus?
I know the Cowboys looking at him too, so I don't know. I think I wouldn't mind seeing him go to the Cowboys. I think that would be a good compliment to CeeDee Lamb. So, but I don't know. Bengals, they keep him. If I'm a Bengals fan, I would want to keep him, but I don't know. I think it's like the second time he'd been on a trade block, so maybe let that man go and see what he want to do.
Yeah, let him get his paper.
Yeah.
I've got to the point where I can't really stand the franchise tag. Like I hate it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I've got to that point where I'm like, the franchise tag is so beneficial to the team and just so not for the player who's putting his body on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like and on top of that too, like the Bengals really need some defense. Like so, yeah, they franchised him, but I'm hoping it's to trade him. You know what I mean? I hope they're hoping to like get some assets, maybe some picks and stuff like that back for him. They've got a pretty good receiving core, even after those two. They've got some young guys who got a lot of play last year when T missed a couple of games. You know what I mean? So I hope they're doing it to trade him, but I don't know. I hate the franchise tag, man. Like it. I know the players hate it too. It's a nice little pay for the 1 year, but too much can happen. You know what I'm saying? Too much can happen.
Yeah.
1 year guarantee and stuff like that. So I don't know. Hopefully they send him somewhere who can possibly do an extension for him. But I don't know. I think offense they were perfectly fine last year, but their defense was atrocious. They couldn't stop nobody.
Right. Yeah, they definitely need to invest in that side. But I agree with you on the franchise tag. It's like not really working as intended, and the fact that they can do it twice is bad too. So they can try to basically hold you in hostage and keep you away from free agency. But yeah, I do think he might end up somewhere else too. So we'll watch that, even though he did get the tag. The other thing, somebody that did not get the tag that there was speculation he might, Sam Darnold. There's still talks that Minnesota might try to re-sign him, or they'll let him walk and see free agency. This is still another one where we've kind of talked about it, but I'm just curious to see what ends up happening here. Do they go with the rookie, or do they go with Sam Darnold after he did so well most of last year?
True. That one's definitely tricky. I think Sam definitely played well enough to deserve an extension, but it's also like kind of like how the way the Patriots were a couple of years ago when they had Cam and Mac, where it's like, at what point in time do we go with the guy we drafted so high in the first round? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a tricky situation because who knows? Like they could fall back a lot. You know what I mean? But Vikings still had a great defense last year. They have a ton of weapons, so hopefully they're hoping that the kid can at least, do at least what Sam Darnold was able to do with the weapons that they have. But we'll see.
Yeah.
You gotta give him a shot and see what happens though. So I'm going with Sam Darnold first and see what happens. So put a little pressure on him.
Yeah.
I like that.
Competition.
Yeah, most definitely. With the free agency starting like basically on the 12th, so in a couple weeks, definitely more to come, more changes to come. But another interesting one I wanted to hear about is Debo traded to the Commanders for a 5th round pick, which 5th round pick sounds pretty sorry for him, but it is a big contract to absorb. So I get why other teams probably weren't willing to give up a lot, knowing that he had to pay that money. But is that say something about where Debo Samuel is at in his career, or is it just like doing business?
Both. For me, it's both. For me, it's both.
I think they know something that we don't know though. When I seen that on the fifth round pick, I'm like, wow. So and they kept him in the NFC too. So I don't know. I don't know. He's always injured. You know what I'm saying? He is an injury prone type of guy. So he's a good player when he's healthy, but I don't think he's been fully healthy since like that first year they beat us in the playoffs. So maybe he's not gonna be the main guy in Washington, and maybe he can kind of come on and do a little bit more. You know, because I think he was very productive when he was playing that running back slash receiver type thing. It was new to everybody, and people didn't see what was going on. They couldn't kind of grasp it. But I think people got a hold to it and they started hitting them. You know what I'm saying? When you start getting hit like that, receivers don't like getting hit like that. And I think Shanahan did a little too much of that, and it kind of messed his career up. But that was his style of play. That's why he was so effective. Being a pure receiver, it's just like I don't know, he can still do that, you know. So maybe the Commanders can kind of get him in position where, like I said, they're different spots, not the main guy, because when he's the main guy and doing so much, it wears out on him. So being in Washington, he can still be effective but not being worn out throughout the whole season, and maybe they can have him. And when you need somebody to make a play and make something happen, I think that would be great for Jalen Daniels, you know. So I still think he got a little bit in him, but I just feel like he has to be fresh, you know. I think 49ers they wore him down and McCaffrey down too much, and it worked to the point where they got to the Super Bowl. But when you got there, you don't have enough in there to finish up. So maybe them guys being fresh, they can produce a little bit more. So
yeah, for sure.
Clearly no. But
Yeah,
I actually want to add on that a little bit. I think when we talk about Debo, I think for the Commanders in general, I think it's actually a great pickup. I think in the NFC Championship game, what they really missed was quick plays, quick slant plays, and plays over the middle. And Zach Ertz, who's I think 35 years old, 34, about to be 35, he was just he's not that type of player anymore. Like he was just getting kind of beat up a lot.
yeah.
So I think when you have a guy like Terry McLaurin, who's obviously going to be the number one guy there, and you throw in a guy like Debo, I think it's going to really help that offense, especially if Kingsbury can get it working, because you have to worry about everything that Jaden Daniels does. But at the same time, he can start throwing the quick plays, screen plays, quick slants to Debo. So I don't know. I'm interested to see like what they do, but I actually thought it was a great pickup if, like Marcus was saying, if Debo can stay healthy. But I thought it was a huge pickup, especially for a fifth round pick if he can stay healthy.
Yeah, for sure. Anthony West agree with you. He said injuries was kind of the thing with it being around the fifth round pick. I'm commenting here a little bit. Sam Darnold showed a lot of heart this past year despite early struggles. Jeff seems to be a black hole for careers for sure. I definitely think that there's certain places you go and it's not going to maybe pan out for you the same based on how they handle things or the coaching situations, different things like that. So it did show that he could do well with a good chance. Only thing other had on the list was the Cowboys. They did sign Ose Odigizua, the defensive lineman, defensive tackle, for 4 years, $80 million, which is interesting. They did decide to restructure Lamb's deal, and they're probably going to do the same thing with Dak to try to create some new cap space. But the question remains, especially with them putting that much money into Osa, are they going to keep Micah Parsons? Are they going to trade him? Are they going to sign him to that big contract? I don't know what Jerry's doing anymore as far as like trying to predict. So I really don't know what's going to happen, but I'm curious to see what the Cowboys do.
How? I mean, like I know you said like they're about to restructure CeeDee Lamb and probably going to try to restructure Dak, but with the money they just do on him, how do they still sign him? I don't see how it happens. A lot of people were talking about Micah going over to, I think it was like
Washington. Going back to his daddy.
That's all the Eagles too. The Eagles are talking about trying to go over him. Like they were.
I think he'd go back to Dan Quinn and his papa. I think he'd go over there with him.
Yeah, probably a good spot for him to go to. But I know the Ravens actually just lost, I think, one of their DNs too. So I think if you really want to be productive somewhere, can learn for some really good guys. I think Baltimore would be a great spot too. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't think he's a Cowboy. I don't see how it's gonna work. Unless he decides to take some less money, I just see how it's going to work. Because I thought that money was going to him.
Right. I don't know. I do think it's going to be interesting, but I almost wouldn't mind though, especially like as great as Michael Parsons is, and like since he came into the thing, it's like I'd almost rather trade him while his stock is high,
I
so
agree.
that way you could get as long as you get some good stuff back for him. I almost wouldn't be mad, but obviously I wouldn't be mad if he stayed either, as long as he's productive. I just don't want to. The drama part is what I already kind of don't like, even though he's really good. You know what I'm saying? All the talk off the field and the podcast and stuff like that. So I don't know. Unk says, what would team owner Marcus do about the Cowboys roster?
Get a running back. That's the first thing I'm gonna do. But Michael Parsons, I just feel like, to be fair to the Cowboys, Jerry Jones and the organization, they paid CD and they paid Dak. So you give them that. Those guys didn't really produce that much this year coming the last period. So paying Michael Parsons, like, we keep on paying these guys. We paid Zeke too, and look what Zeke did. So
Yeah,
the track
true.
record of paying these guys, they get paid, they don't do as well as we want, So I just feel like of course you want to keep Michael Parsons. You want to draft a guy and keep a guy his whole career and do good. You don't want to see a guy like a Saquon Barkley. You draft him and you trade him and he can win Super Bowl in the following year. You don't want to see something like that. So I just feel like you got to do what's best for the team and best for the locker room. I think you got to talk to the players. I think the players will love Michael there, but if he don't want to be there, then you got to get him out of there. So, but the first thing I think you need is, you had a nice roster this year, but you had no run game. I think that's the number one thing you need to do, and you got to get another safety and you got to get a cornerback. I think those things are very, very important to that team right now.
Agreed.
Yeah, I like that. I would be fine with that direction for sure. Anthony West says Parsons to Chiefs for Trey Smith and first round pick.
Come on, brother. Come on, brother.
Trade Parsons. Unk says trade Parsons for depth picks, money. Pop says Cowboys can create close to $100 million in cap space. They're re-signing our players and may dabble in free agency. Parsons isn't going anywhere. He will sign very soon.
Okay.
I think it is crazy though. Like, the cap space part is so crazy too. How they just always want to, like, you sign these mega deals and then they always figure out a way to get out of them, or to convert it to the convert it to the signing bonus, all this other stuff. It's just like how they move the money around, So we'll see if they end up being able to do it. But I thought the same thing when they signed OC to so much. I was like, man, has to make it harder for him to sign Parsons. So we'll see. Unk said Abdul Carter. He's gonna be good, but I don't know if he'll even be around when the draft comes up.
Does the Cowboys have a first round pick this year?
Yeah, they do. I think it's number 12 or 13 or something like that.
Okay.
So
I didn't know that. Okay.
Pop says silliness. Not sure exactly what he's referring to. Maybe the trade. Anthony West says the Cowboys' offensive line is horrendous. It is, and with Zach Martin retiring, it's almost kind of a blessing in disguise. Yeah, so he did announce his retirement. But I think it's almost kind of a blessing in disguise, because he's not the player he was, and I don't want to see him just holding on and kind of keep declining.
That's sad to see he didn't get like close to the at least an instant championship game or something, like at least playing Super Bowl. He was a great, to me. He might be the top 3 of all time as a offensive lineman for the Cowboys. And we have some great like a Nate Newton. We had like Larry Allen. We have some great guys. I feel like he's up there with those guys, and I just hate that he didn't get what those guys got to the big game or close to the big game. He had some great teams, but they didn't get anywhere. So I hate that for him. It worked so hard to get that, but one thing he got paid. So I give him that.
Yeah, he was well taken care of. He did end up, he was a Cowboy his whole career, which is really cool. I'd rather see that than like Tyron Smith going to the Jets last year, that type of thing. But yeah, we've had a lot of really, really good draft picks, really good careers that have come and gone.
He was the last of that O line, huh? That when we had DeMarco Murray, huh? He's the last of that bunch.
Yeah. That's crazy. That's was some good times though. DeMarco Murray, he came over there and he did his thing. He went off.
I still think that year, that Packer, I think they give Dez that catch, man. We win the Super Bowl that year. Totally, I know people say, Seahawks and all that. I think we beat them, so I don't know.
Yeah, that still hurts for sure. So we'll see, but yeah, last thing, actually, I keep saying last thing, but I have one more thing on the list. Saquon Barkley getting extension. So last year he signed 3 years, 37 million. He obviously went to the Eagles, had the great year, and they just signed him to actually a 2-year, $41 million extension. So he's getting a raise, and I think well deserved. But my question behind your reaction to the signing is like, can he even have as good of a year as he did last year? Like, is that the plateau for him, or do you think he can have similar success in future years?
I think he can. That team is great. The team is set up. The offensive line is set up for him to do even more. I think the confidence he gets, I think he's gonna do. I think he breaks what he was doing. I think he does it. I think he showed that he can do it, and he let off at the end of the season too. So I don't see why that team is well coached. That team is they chemistry is good. So I see him. He might not be as that, but you asked the question, can he do it? I think he could do it, but I think he'll be close to it if he don't do it what he did last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the best part about it, Marcus said, is like the offensive line is so great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Even when they lose, and it's not even just the offensive line, it's also the offensive line coaching. When guys go out and get moved around, like you don't see any breakup. You know what I mean? Like they had I think 2 guys. I think their center got hurt again. They moved somebody else in, and they still didn't skip a beat. You know what I mean? Like so, it's also the offensive line coaching as well. And when your running backs not getting hit as much and they're not getting hurt and they're just blowing through these holes and running for 60 yards untouched, you know what I mean? That definitely keeps you healthy. So, pray he continues being healthy because, I know as Cowboy fans, you might not like the Eagles, but it's great to see great football players, you know what I mean? So, I'd love to keep seeing him play, man. It was wild to see what he did. Like Marcus said, he didn't play in the last game of the season. So, last game of the season, he breaks that record. Granted, I get it, it's, one more game, but still, he still breaks it.
And we saying Anthony asked a question they can win back to back, and Pops and Uncle like no way. It's like how's that so no way, and how's that no like why can't they do it again? I don't understand why they can't do that.
You see what they did to the Chiefs?
That's what I'm saying. So why can't they do that? Like I don't understand what's the no way about. I don't.
We're not just talking about their offense; their defense was monstrous too.
Yeah.
All about health. I think they definitely could. I mean, the Chiefs just did it. You know what I'm saying? Why can't they?
Right.
It's so hard to repeat, but like if anyone can do it, that they bring that whole team back, they 100% can.
And people doubt. I was probably one of them. People doubted Jalen Hurts like he's gonna be that guy, and he proved that he can still play the ball. So he's still young, man. He's not like Dak. He's not going down the drain. So I feel like I don't know why can't they do it again? So I don't see why.
Yeah, I do agree.
But what are you talking about? Chemistry issues? Like they're about as good chemistry wise as it gets.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the only thing I could see a little bit potentially fall off is Kellen Moore not calling the offense as well. But at the same time, I'm sure that there might be some change up there, but because he does know how to run the ball and create that, but they still do have the players. And the NFC, as we saw this year, and even looking into next year, it's like there's not like a dominant team. There's not like a team that's like so scary. And if you were going to pick who that team possibly is probably going to be the Eagles. Oh, or Detroit, yeah.
I'm saying that's the only 2 teams I see next year. They're going to do the Cowboys trash. The 49ers going to be trash now, so they lost one of their best players. So the Rams is trash. They're not going to be the same team. So I don't see who's going to really challenge them besides the Detroit. So that's all I'm trying to see.
And I almost feel like, and I hate to say this too, but maybe Detroit has hit their plateau. Like obviously, much respect to what Dan Campbell did, but is that as far as
the year? This is the year for them to show us, like, okay, y'all. Because last year they got there and then you was up the whole game, and you just lost it with the 49ers. So you might be right there too. I think you get so far and it's like So yeah, you might be right, man.
I think the hardest part about it too is just like the mental aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like the mental aspect of trying to repeat, where it's like you're so hungry and driven. You just lost a couple of years ago. You get in, you're playing the same team, and you're coming harder this time around. You know what I mean? So I think that'd be the hardest part too, is just the mental aspect of being as hungry this upcoming season as you were this past season. I think that'd be the hardest part, but they're built for it. But like you said too, Kellen Moore is a great coach at running the football. Like he was good with you guys. And they said he made some of your guys look great and weren't great after they left. You know what I'm saying? And obviously what he did with that line and Saquon. So losing him probably might hurt him a little bit, but that line still ain't going nowhere, and neither is Saquon. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. And Pop saying that he'll bet that the Eagles don't repeat, and that's what we're saying, like, oh, they will repeat, but we're saying they
There's a
could.
possibility.
Like,
It's like no way. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not giving you $1,000 for no Eagles. Like, come on, man. That's not my team, but they got a chance to do it. So
yeah.
Ugg says, will the Rams revisit Super Bowl before Stafford retires?
No.
Probably not, but I wish him the best. I think the cool thing is he did do it, though. They did win a Super Bowl with the Rams. And kind of to Strizzy, your point just now, it's like when you have that ring on your finger, it's like, okay, yes, of course you would love a second one and you're playing to win, but it's not quite the same as before you had it. So
it takes a certain mentality to completely wash out the year before and act like it never happened. You know what I mean? And very few players are able to do that. You know, you look at guys like, TB12 and even Patrick and, other guys who have, repeatedly won, championships. Like, you have to have a certain drive to win multiple. You know what I mean? So we'll see if
did Kellen Moore get a job already?
Yeah, he's the Saints coach.
Oh, he was the Saints. Okay. I didn't see it. So.
Yeah.
He's putting together a nice little staff there, so we'll see. I don't know how it goes, but
Derek Carr is gonna be the quarterback right now, or it's gonna be the other little guy.
As of right now, I think.
As of right now, Carr. So we'll see. But yeah, fun stuff there. Lots more to come with obviously free agency coming up pretty soon. We'll get to see a lot more movement and see how teams are shaping up. But definitely wanted to talk basketball. The big story, Kyrie Irving being injured, torn ACL, stayed in the game to shoot his free throws, did the Kobe style, Warrior style, and then needed help to come off the court. But I don't think it's right. People are saying it's karma for the Mavs. I just think it's bad luck. But I don't really feel bad for them though, but I do feel bad for Kyrie, especially the way he's been playing, the way he's kind of gotten himself. I shouldn't say back on track like as a player, but back on track as far as like when it was with the Nets, it was some touch and go. You know what I'm saying? He was acting out a little bit, but yeah, Strizzy, what were your thoughts on the injury?
Yeah, man, I completely agree with you. I love what Kai's been able to do over the last 2 years. I mean, just getting to the Mavericks and playing with Luka, like you said, kind of getting his image back to what we know Kyrie to be. You know what I mean? Things of that nature. And I've been rooting for him, man. He's been playing so good, keeping his head down and just hooping, And I feel like with the trade, like obviously, the karma stuff is whack. You know what I'm saying? Because Kai ain't got nothing to do with that trade. You know what I mean? But I think with the trade and Luka not being there, and obviously you traded for a guy who's also very injury prone, Kyrie's utilization has obviously not doubled, but it's skyrocketed. They've needed him to do so much, especially with PJ Washington not playing very well, and obviously Clay not playing. We're not seeing 2018, 2019 Clay no more. You know what I'm saying? So Kai has had to do so much more for them to just stay relevant and win games. So I think just like that overutilization and his uptick in minutes too also played a huge role in that. So kind of sucks, man. I hate to see it happen, especially kind of this late in the season. So he'll probably miss a couple of games early next year, I'm guessing. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but sucks for him.
I think it's the blessing in disguise, man. That team is terrible. That team won't go anywhere. So go get you some time with your kids, and you know what I'm saying, get yourself a break because, like you say, you got a lot on your shoulder trying to get that team to go, and the way things was happening, and that guy who did all that trading and stuff, it just I feel bad for a Dallas Maverick fan right now. It just your team was definitely making the playoffs. They have a decent team. You go on somewhere, then you trade your best player. That's grieving, and then you see this happen to Kyrie. It's like, God dang, man. So as a Mavs fan, as a basketball fan, you hate to see that, but I think it's a blessing for him. I wouldn't want to try to go back to Dallas after all that happened. So maybe he can talk to some other people and go somewhere else next year.
Not to mention the guy you traded for gets injured in the very first game he plays for you. You know what I'm saying? That's gotta suck too. Like you're just like, dang, come on, man.
He went off in the first 3 quarters, and then
He did. No, he did.
And the crazy thing about it, he's helping Kyrie get to the free throw line of all people. You helping me get there. That's like crazy. I think he brought that bug over there, man. It's like the flu.
And
Or should I say like COVID? You know, he's 6 feet apart from each other. But
and on top of that too, man, we gotta transition a little bit to the Lakers because like on the complete opposite of the spectrum, the Lakers look like real legit contenders again. Like they're winning games where they're underdogs. They're winning games as the favorite. They're winning games when guys are sitting. Luka's finally getting back into kind of like game shape. Obviously, he started off a little bit slow. New team, new system, new players. You know, playing with LeBron, all those things. But he's starting to kind of get back to seeing triple double Luka ways. You know what I mean? And they looking nice, bro. Like it's coming together. It's coming together nice. So complete opposite side of the spectrum. Like you just said, Marcus, I know Mavs fans out here breaking windows and
man,
TVs, dog. Like they upset right now, bro.
It is crazy though. The better the Lakers do, that's always going to be tied. You know, as more Luka grows over there, he's always going to be tied to the Mavericks like that. But yeah, they're definitely looking really good. They're now up to the 2 seed in the West. And the crazy thing is they were getting it together right before the trade, and they were like in an upswing, and then they made the trade, and I thought, oh dang, that kind of might upset things. But like you said, Luka kind of getting back to that, and we've seen it before, you know, especially in playoff series, and you know, especially against the Suns. You know, a couple of those times when they kind of came back against the Suns, it's like certain ways he can unlock the game, certain ways he can see the game. He really can make things happen, and he doesn't have to be in a rush or running up down court crazy. Even seeing him play with LeBron, there's been some passes he's made to LeBron and stuff like that where, like, I don't think LeBron's been ever used to playing with the guy that can get him easy shots like that now. Because, you know, obviously LeBron played with Wade, but Wade wasn't the facilitator at that time. You know, like he was
that young.
Or that young, exactly. So now even just seeing LeBron play with Luka is like, it's pretty crazy because I think like it's opening up possibilities for LeBron to do things differently and to get some rest and to be fresh too. So
I think he gives LeBron at least 2 more years to playing now. I think if they really can get a big next year, I think they can win it all, and that's gonna make LeBron James even more of that GOAT thing. You know, that it's GOAT, like the GOAT. It won't be reachable, you know. So these people, like certain people on this podcast, can't say anything no more. So if you get one more, watch out.
Bron looks relaxed. It's the most relaxed he's probably been since he did play with Wade. You know what I mean? Like where he can legitimately feel now, like, okay, I finally have somebody who's used to completely taking over a team. You know what I mean? Like you just see like LeBron just looks a little rejuvenated. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's the dog.
Exactly. Like he's like, man, I can now sit and enjoy Luka running this team and not having to worry about having to go back in because we're blowing leads anymore. They're not blowing leads. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, I'm with Marcus. They definitely still need that kind of that big man, but like it doesn't even need to be like an AD type guy. Like
no.
It was like an Isaiah Hartenstein type dude, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? A good dude that's gonna get you just 12 to 14 rebounds, some blocks, who's gonna make his points in the paint, you know what I'm saying?
Like Adams, man. I thought they were gonna get Adams. They got Adams, that would have been a perfect fit for them.
Yeah. Just somebody that knows the game and can be that steady, reliable. Yeah.
Exactly. So yeah, man, they're looking good, man. All the way back up to the second seed is crazy. I did not see this coming.
And when those guys play good like that, the other team, the role players start playing well. It's contagious, you know. Like you in the environment. It's LA already. You're a Laker, and people gonna start coming back to the games again. You know what I'm saying? So the environment, it's like MSG a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You go there, it's like Hollywood, man. Showtime up in there. So when they playing good, it's good for basketball. I know people hate Lakers or like that, but when the Lakers are good, it's just good for the game, man. So just seeing that happen, man, it's good to see, man. So I'm happy for him, and like I said, they try to screw Luka, but he's screwing them back now. So it's going good. So
yeah, and he's doing dope stuff. Like in the one game, he like bought all the parking. Like he paid for like all the parking like around Staples Center. Like that's super dope. Like just to come in and be like, hey, I'm here now, you know. And you know, Jordan's always next level with their marketing stunts and things like that. So they're gonna continue to do stuff. And LA's an even bigger stage. So
man,
it's so cool to see. Anthony has me laughing. He said just enough time to draft Bryce. He gonna have both his sons together.
I think he gonna do it. I think he gonna wait for both of those guys to get in there, and then he'll be done. Man. That's how it's gonna go.
It's crazy.
And I gotta eat a little, not too much crow. It's like a spoonful, but hey, it's a G League. But Bronny is looking good now, man. He looks comfortable. He looks confident as he's playing down there, man, and he looks good.
He's like, I can get some minutes, at least a couple minutes,
I said, if you watch the whole game, you watch how he's moving, you watch how he's taking over the game, you watch how he's, taking smart shots and doing smart things, and got a little dad in him, like officially passing the ball. Like if you can do that little thing, that's what he needed to do. He can't be like his dad. If you can play defense and pass the ball well and knock down shots when you open, you can be a good player. You don't have, like I said, you don't have to be that you can never be your dad, but you can be that Jrue Holiday type of player, man. So he can do that. He'll be in the league a long time. Be a Bruce Bowens, man. Knock down open shots and play defense.
So I love
this guy's played a long time.
You've been playing basketball your whole life. Just go out there and play basketball.
Yeah.
You can tell when he's out there, like, obviously at the NBA stage, he looks just so nervous. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't want to fail. He doesn't want people talking about him. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he looks nervous. So the G League is definitely going to help him just, calm those nerves, just get him back to just go out there and hoop. Just go out there and hoop. No one's asking you to be your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Just go out there and hoop.
Right. I like it. Yeah, so we'll see, but I am liking the way the Lakers are playing definitely right now. Anthony says, how's the mood out here with the Suns? Out there with the Suns. Suns are down bad.
We love it, dog. They sorry. We love it.
Horrible. They're horrible. They might be the worst team in the league.
It's bad, but it sucks that they're just so checked out as well. And I just don't know what it's gonna do for their future. Like, how do you kind of rebuild, take a step back and see like what you can do? But KD's definitely gone. They'll probably still trade Beal somewhere. So it's like then you just starting over with Booker again, and you ruined what you had. Like, you had that window, and everybody wanted to blame DeAndre Ayton. Like
Johnson.
Everybody said Ayton's the problem somehow. And it just, that was the chance though. So
I knew it was a point guard. That Chris Paul was cool. He did his job. All you gotta do is get a point guard and keep those guys together, man. Mikal, Cam, those guys, man, and Book. I let them guys go, man. He's another point guard. Keep Ayton there and all that. Ayton, just do it, man. But they didn't want to do it.
The smart thing to do, in my opinion, would be to I know you're saying the Hornets exist, but you got to think about it from a I don't mean they're the worst team in the league as like record wise, but when you look at how much talent the Suns have, and I'm talking about not even their big three, like they have a lot of talent on their bench too. They should not be this bad. They should not be losing games like this. You know what I'm saying? Like so that's what I mean. They have too much talent to be this bad. That's what I mean when I say they're the worst team in the league. But like I think the Suns should dearly take the Oklahoma City Thunder route. Blow it up, get rid of everybody, load up on just a ton of first-round picks over the next couple of years, and honestly look to the future. Because even if you get rid of Bill and KD, what's Book really gonna do by himself? He doesn't want to start over. You know what I'm saying? Like he's even said it himself.
He shouldn't have to.
Exactly. Don't waste your prime years on a rebuild. Go somewhere.
So you
else.
think Book's gone too? Yeah,
I think so. I mean. I think he won't make that decision because he loves Phoenix, he loves the fans, but I think he's got to look out for him, go to the organization and be like, look, I love what we've done here, but I know KD's gone. I know we're trying to move Bill. If we can't get some guys in here and, really fix some things, like I'd like to go too. I know the Rockets have already said they're going after Book and KD in the offseason. So, they were, and I think Book would actually be really, really good there. KD's tricky because he's just getting older, but
for KD to get his legacy on track, this might be reaching, but for him to do it, he has to go back to OKC. He owes them that. So while you have a little bit in the tank, with that young team. You got to go back there and give it. At least you give it. You know what I'm saying? Like LeBron did that. LeBron left Cleveland like he did them dirty, but he went back and he gave him a chip. So he made everything better. So even though you can't do it, and if you do it, your legacy is straight. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the way he did those guys going to the Warriors of all teams, you owe them to go back there and try to make things right. I think he
Yeah,
has
that'd
to
be
do
great,
that.
especially if he can get there without
Losing too much.
exactly. I was
Yeah,
gonna say without losing too much, it'd be great.
yeah, yeah.
You go there back as a veteran, full circle. That'll be so gangster.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
we'll
saw
see.
Boogie Cousins said he should go to Boogie said he should go to DC. I was like, man, stop playing.
No,
You
don't
know,
do that.
Yeah.
Don't do
yeah,
that.
no, home team. You know what I'm saying? Home team or not, like don't do that. Don't
Right.
you
Go
don't
back.
nothing. Don't go to the Wizards.
You just imagine that. Go back and that'll make everything better because the way you left, we still hate you for what you did to him. Like,
For real.
we still don't like that. But going back, you can mean everything and be okay again.
Yeah. It is true that I was thinking about it too, though. The Suns, like Booker, is already the leading scorer for the Suns franchise. So now that he already
It
got
won't
that
be
this year,
catch.
he'd be like,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
So
won't be
he'll probably
caught.
be like, okay, I can leave now because, I did what I came to do here. You know what I'm saying? I balled out while I was here. So we'll see.
I don't know how he would play anywhere else though. Like it'd just be. Can he
Kind of weird,
do
huh?
his attitude and how he plays? Like I don't know where he would go because anywhere he go, I don't think he'll be the man. You know, he'll be like not a role player, but he'll be like maybe the second, third option. So it just depends. I don't know. I'm thinking about that. Where would he go though? Like where would he?
That's what I was thinking. I think it definitely depends on where he goes. I think the Knicks also need to split some guys up too, honestly. But I think honestly, if they can move some people, I think Mikal Bridges is not working out there. And if I'm being completely honest, as well as Cat is doing there, I don't think Cat fits them either. So they got a lot, but the Knicks also need an enforcer type. They got a lot of I don't want to say sissy type dudes, but like none of those dudes are over there. Got that.
Well, that was weird. That's when they got rid of Randall. They like, we don't really need you, but then they kind of lost their toughness between him and Hartenstein. So
yeah, right, exactly, 100%. But like, I don't know where he goes either. But I also think he needs to play somewhere where he's got some like talent, like actual talent around him. Book can't do the, build it up to myself type deal. You know what I mean? Like he played very good on the Olympics. He was able to play. He was like one of the best defensive players on the Olympic team. You know what I'm saying? So if he can go somewhere where there's still a lot of talent around him, but still obviously, put up 25 a game, and he's averaging like 7 assists. You know what I'm saying? So go somewhere and do that. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just think it's not happening in Phoenix. I think they take the Thunder route, man. Go get you 13 first-round picks over the next couple of years, and just
Draft
be
smart.
real. Exactly, draft smart, and just know it's going to be rough for the next couple of years. Ask the community to just hold tight. You know what I'm saying? And you look at the Thunder right now. Honestly, man, like I look at the Thunder and I'm like, who's going to beat them? Like I know Celtics are still nice, you know what I mean? But dog, they're one of the best defensive teams in the league, and they'll still put 140 on your head. Like it's a phenomenal team out there.
Their secret too was definitely some of those draft picks, but also they stole SGA from the Clippers. They saw him early. They stole him. Anthony West is Booker in Miami. What would you think about that, Strizzy?
I wouldn't mind it. I do like Book. My biggest problem though right now is like he's just another Tyler Hero. You know what I mean? Like their game it's identical. You know what I mean? Like both guys who can. I mean, Tyler Hero's a better rebounder. You know what I mean? But as far as the amount of points they average and the amount of assists they average are the same player, and neither one of them are real true point guards. You know what I'm saying? So I still like Miami to go out and get a solid point guard. You know what I mean? But I mean, Book would be dope. Like he would be straight. But they still have 4 first-round picks this year. That's crazy, dog. That's crazy.
Yeah. Seattle Supersonics returned Booker traded to Seattle. That'd be pretty. I hope I think that they will get a team again though. I do think the NBA is probably going to expand pretty soon if they can figure out an All-Star game and get over some of these problems. But I can see an expansion and a shortening of the season. So I think there's some changes coming, and I think the Supersonics will be back, and I think Las Vegas is going to have a team.
Yeah, they got some. If they do anything, they got to put a team in Vegas for sure.
Stephanie said, everybody said us getting Luka wasn't it. And that's true. Everybody was like, oh, the Lakers might take a step back, but this is for the future. And now look at where they're at right now. It is crazy, but I'm excited because especially in the playoffs, in a 7-game series, like if they can, elevate their game to take out some people, like you never know. They could go on another big run. So we'll see.
You already know LeBron's going to turn up in the playoffs, and dog, just go like none of us are Mavericks fans, but go back and look at what Luka has done in the playoffs over his career. bro has moments.
He was in the finals last year.
Exactly. And like, Mavericks giving him all this crap about stuff. I'm like, dog, y'all don't get there without him. You see, bro has skinned up knees. He's bleeding through all his stuff. He got ice packs on both knees and his back. Like bro literally did everything to get y'all there. The way they did him was just so dirty.
Yeah. It's weird. It's crazy. Anthony said, move Sacramento. That's what they're going to do. They're going to move Sacramento to Vegas, and they're going to be the Las Vegas Kings, and they're going to be owned by the king himself, LeBron. Coming by 2030. By 2030, I'm telling you right now.
Especially because they already got the Las Vegas Knights. That would be tight. That would be tight.
Yeah, Stephanie said Vegas needs the next NBA team. I think they will. I think they're going to add to Seattle and Las Vegas. I think that's what it's going to be. But
I'll put 100 on it. No, I'm saying I'll put 100 on it. Let me get on the Las Vegas team. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. And then they'll have all 4 professional sports there by then, because they're getting the baseball team on the way too. So It's crazy. Brian, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this thing up, but I do want to remind everybody we're going to do a March Madness challenge. So if you're going to be watching some basketball NCAA tournaments or not, it doesn't really matter. Just get ready to throw your bracket out there, because you know how crazy it is with the brackets. They get busted anyway. So might as well just, throw your name in the hat. So, we'll be studying up for that, and we'll let you guys know. But next week we'll have the sign up for that, and it'll be for probably through Yahoo again. I think that's what we did last year. So get ready for March Madness. Study up on your NCAA, and I know Stephanie Washington's ready. I know she's got Gonzaga going to at least the Final Four. So that's what's up, Steph. I know you'll be ready. And until then, we'll continue to keep it pushing, and we'll be back next week for episode 289, and still getting towards that 300 every single week. It's getting closer, but we're gonna make it happen. But until then, it's your boy A-Dub.
Hey, your boy Drizzy.
And your boy Marcus, man. See y'all next week, man. Peace.
Peace.